Hello, everybody. What's happening? Guess what? We're back. Want to welcome you to Hot Topics. Go ahead and like and share this everywhere that you are watching this from. Please do us a favor. Go ahead and like it and share it. Let everybody know that we are back. It's been a minute. We're what? 1 week past the time that we were supposed to come back. But we are excited to be back. Let us know that you are excited for us to be back. That's right. It is Hot Topics time. And we don't do this show by ourselves. And so we want to introduce the ladies of the evening that will join us tonight. Hey, everybody. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Want to say Miss
Hello,
Nakisha.
hello.
Say hello to everybody.
Hello.
How y'all been? Uh-oh. How y'all been?
I'm good. Explain.
Miss Austin, say hello to everybody.
Oh, I was saying I'm good. I guess they didn't hear me. Hey.
Wow, it's been a minute since we've been on. We took a little time off for the holidays, and then we had to take another week off. So, but nevertheless, we're back. So let's play a little catch up before we get started. We're waiting on our next guest to come on in with us. So since we've been gone since Thanksgiving, we talked about the Thanksgiving. Nikisha, how was your Thanksgiving holidays?
It was relaxing. I actually had some time off, so I got to, enjoy the children. I cooked. And it was just me and the kids.
You cooked, you ate. I never. Wow. Who knew you
Well,
can
we
eat?
have to that. You get me every
That's a little.
time on
That's a
a
little
Tuesday.
inside joke. That's a little inside joke. That's a little inside joke. That's a
Oh,
little
good.
inside joke. Cause I never seen you cook before.
I guess down now. I guess down.
Yep, we all know that Nikisha
Oh
cooks.
God.
Yeah, everybody that's a member of Zion knows that Nikisha cooks. So Lady Austin, how have you enjoyed your time? I kind of know what you did on Thanksgiving. What did you cook, Miss Austin? What did you cook on Thanksgiving? Let the
I'm
people
not
know.
finna I'm not finna go through all that with you. I don't need nobody calling me about nothing. I ate and we had fun.
Oh, you want to earn no money? I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to build your pockets so you can get out of mine. Trying to help you
I'm
out.
good. I'm good.
Oh my goodness. Well, we have our final guest on the show tonight. Mr. McCoy. Say hello to everybody. Multitasking tonight.
What's up, everybody? Yep, that's the story of my life. Multitask.
Nobody we know, right? It's nobody we know. It ain't nobody we know, right? That's all.
Not so far.
Well, guys, it's good to be back with you guys. We enjoy doing hot topics. Hot topics is where we talk about anything that's hot. That's the motto of the show. If it's hot, we gotta touch it. And so, what's hot? Well, what's hot in South Florida is certainly not the weather. This is our winter. So we've had what 2 days of winter. So, Nikisha, you don't get out the house. So, have you been able to enjoy this winter?
Yeah, you see, I got on my long sleeve.
Oh, okay. So you dressed up for work today. Okay, got you.
Yeah, of course. No, I
Somebody's
don't
out
get out
in.
much, but yes, I definitely been able to enjoy the weather. I got to sit on my porch and work outside, so it was very nice.
Do people not get in trouble when it's cold? Brandon, I don't do. They get out of trouble when it's cold, right?
Yeah, it seems like that kind of keeps people in. I'll keep it at that.
It's not the rain because it rained too much in South Florida. They got used to
No,
the
no,
rain.
they're used to the rain. They're used to the rain, but the cold does something. So I would like to see the cold rest of the week, rest of the year, go into January.
Let it snow. I know that's right. Miss Austin, are you enjoying the cold weather?
I'm in the house too, so it don't matter to me.
don't nothing phase. You know, something about her doesn't nothing phase her. And like only person that moves her is 45. You know what I'm saying? That's the only.
That's not true. You move me.
Oh,
that was
all right.
cute.
That's been our show, ladies and gentlemen. We were just teasing you back. We'll be back. We'll be back next week. Wow. So wow. So we left the show last looking to hear from our governor, our leader. And that was 3 weeks ago. And unfortunately, 3 weeks later, we still haven't really heard from our governor, especially as it relates to COVID-19. We've been seeing all over the country that numbers have been spiking. Oh, see, my deacon say, "Go, Pastor, go." All right, he giving me credence, man. Go. As a married man, you know you don't get that invitation that often. But anyway, I'm gonna go back to what we're talking about. So, Governor DeSantis, we still haven't heard from him. We've been seeing that COVID cases have been spiking all across the country. And so we should just assume that the numbers are increasing here. But unfortunately for us, for months now, we haven't really been receiving much data. Something interesting happened to a young lady that used to work for our state and work for the health department. I want you guys to see a little bit of this because this young lady was responsible for the system that gave us the numbers. And so recently her house was raided. She was fired and let go some time ago. And recently her house was raided. And before I go into all that, I'll let you see some of it.
Data.
You remember Rebecca Jones, data scientist, fired by the Florida Department of Health in May after questioning state officials' commitment to accessibility and transparency with COVID-19 data? Well, today her home was raided as part of a cybercrime investigation. Video of the raid here, you can see officers coming in, guns drawn.
Come outside. Outside.
Who else is in the house, ma'am?
My 2 children and my husband.
Where's your husband at?
Calm down. Calm down.
You want the children down?
Call them all down.
Mr. Jones, come down the stairs. Now!
Police, come down now.
Search warrant.
Bring your
Come down the
children.
stairs.
My children!
Hang on, let me clear
He
behind you.
just pointed a gun at my children!
So the question is, why? Rebecca Jones joins us now for an exclusive interview. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Chris.
Why do you think this happened?
After speaking to my attorneys and looking over the evidence they said they have, I actually think that they're not after me. They didn't take the router in my house. They didn't take a number of laptops in the house that belonged to my son or my husband that could have easily done whatever it is that they think happened. They took my phone and they took the computer that I use to run my companies. And on my phone is every communication I've ever had with someone who works at the state who has come to me in confidence and told me things that could get them fired or in trouble like this. And I just want to say to all those people right now, if he doesn't know already, DeSantis will know soon enough that you've been talking to me. So be careful.
They
Come on now.
I'm going to leave it at that for a moment. So let me give you guys some backdrop of this. Again, this young lady worked for the state health department, and she was responsible for creating a database that gave us the data for COVID-19. Apparently, some months ago, she was asked to kind of work the numbers a little bit, cook the numbers to favor a reopening plan. She refused. Governor DeSantis has fired her. She has been speaking out about this to other people. As she said briefly in that interview, someone from the state has been secretly informing her that basically someone else is doing what they've asked her to do, and she has been very vocal about it. And she was raided because she's been accused of hacking into the system and sending out messages encouraging other people to be a whistleblower, if you will. And so therefore our house was raided. And what I want to ask is, now that we see this has happened, and now that we know that Governor DeSantis has been quiet for quite some time, is it fair, Nikisha, to say that it's hard for Floridians to trust that Florida is doing as well as they are suggesting?
Well, they should have been stopped trusting what the numbers were, because we all knew it wasn't being told to us from the jump for a past few months. I will say I'm not shocked, because it's been very evident that the numbers have been increasing. And that may be the reason why he's been in hiding. Somebody may have given him the upper hand, that they coming for him, and it actually makes sense. I had no idea all of this was even going on. I haven't even been paying as much attention to the news as I normally do, but it makes a lot of sense that why he's been in hiding, and maybe why he's been doing certain laws for passing certain laws for certain reasons. But I think people should have been stopped trusting his response, simply based off of everything that he showed us, even with the not providing masks timely, not speaking with the local legislators and mayors and whatnot. So that trust should have been went out the door. I mean, in my opinion.
It's awesome when you see this. You were the first one. You brought me on this story, actually. When you saw this story, what's the first thing that came to your mind?
Well, they checking for people, so I can't say too much. So, you know. Because, I told y'all this months ago. So DeSantis might have somebody at our door come the morning time. He might think I'm working for one of them. But I've said this like from the get-go. And the sad part that was more disappointing to me, if you look at the story further, she called out counties in one of the interviews I saw, and told specifically what they told her to do. And one of them was Dade County, Broward County, and some county in Orlando they specifically spoke about. And that bugged me to death, because it was like, we know Dade County was at the top, and all of a sudden Dade County went down. And I won't be surprised if the 45 man is linked to this too, because remember,
Absolutely.
he took over and didn't want nothing reported unless it came through him. So
Right.
because they worked together, he probably told DeSantis, I'm going to tell you what you going to tell them to say. And that's probably pretty much, and one of the reasons DeSantis is probably quiet, because I mean, unless you just a Trump idiot, everybody pretty much know Trump days a number. And like I've been saying from the get-go, these people who have political careers, they got to decide, what are y'all going to do? Because this man got to get up out of here soon. And you guys built Trump was never like a politician, or he didn't have a political career. So DeSantis has to kind of straddle the fence and decide what he want to do. And he probably thought, oh, Trump gonna win again, and it's gonna blow over, and he'll pardon them and do all this other kind of stuff. But now I think he realized his back against the wall. Well, another thing that lady said in one of the interview was, he specifically had her target school, because she kept track of the schools too. And I've been saying from the get-go, they lying about these schools, because my son's school and a couple of other people I know at their schools that call and tell me, all these teachers are out with this, all these kids are out with that. And then I go look on the list, those schools are not even on the list yet. Some of the schools that I've been hearing and know people personally affected at has not made the list, and it's been over a month. So the fact that she's out, it's no telling how much or how bad this thing is. And it disgusts me to know that he's doing this and he's not even trying to change anything about it. And on top of that, he's telling people pretty much he finna send these children back to school. And people are just in situations where they feel like I'm gonna have to do it because this, at some point somebody's gonna have to take a stand. Somebody, and it's gonna have to put y'all politics to the side. And as parents are just civilians or citizens, we're gonna have to just take a stand with the whole Trump, DeSantis, and all this politics stuff.
Brandon, I mean, how believable, do you think something like this is? Her stance is, hey, they're investigating me because I'm calling it like it is. Of course, DeSantis is denying that, he made a remark today that he doesn't know why this lady, she's not being investigated because of him. And so it's really his word against hers. What do you think? Is it plausible to suggest that maybe they're going after her because she's trying to tell the truth?
Right. Yeah, I definitely think it's possible. We all know there's corruption at so many levels of this, especially in politics. And I mean, our distrust for him started, long before this. So we've never really trusted him that much, obviously because of his alignment with 45. But even beyond that, we saw how he kind of began pushing for the state to kind of be reopened when 45 was hinting at having a convention down here and so many other things that would have favored 45. So even from that point, we kind of saw, that he would do whatever he thought he could as far as numbers to make it seem more favorable. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities to believe that, they were trying to get this woman to change numbers. Because we know all along that they've been trying to really be shady about it anyway. So, you know, I definitely think there's some truth to it. I think it's very believable. Um, you know, and it could really go either way. I think it was funny that as I was watching the video, the first thing that popped in my mind is how horrible the tactics were of the officers that was going in. But that's just me,
Yeah.
obviously. Um, but yeah, I think it's
Guns
believable.
drawn is cybercrime, and you got guns drawn
Yeah,
to
it was.
that. I mean, I didn't want to talk about the law enforcement, but I thought the same thing for cybercrime. But anyway, I was gonna let you deal with that if you want to deal with it. But
Yeah, I don't want to minimize it because non-violent situations, quote unquote, can turn violent, so you want to be careful. But there is a way to do things, and um, just from a safety standpoint, what I saw, those were horrible tactics for any situation, really.
But
But
that lets you know how they probably was told
that
to treat her as a
to
threat.
me, you're right. I was gonna say
Absolutely.
to me that was not a normal cybercrime
Right.
type of. I
Arrest,
don't want to say break in, but that wasn't a cybercrime type of
warrant, whatever it
scenario
was.
to
Yeah.
me. That's the first thing I thought. I was like, oh man, they going in like that.
yeah,
Where's your husband? Who's in the house? Man, you just there for some computers, man. You know,
That they didn't take.
That they
right. And
didn't
she
take.
said later in the interview that they didn't even take all of the equipment out of her house. There were other laptops and computers in her house. And it was a pretty lengthy clip. But basically, she said they took her
A phone
phone
and
and
a
her
laptop.
main laptop because basically they wanted to know who she's talking to. They wanted to know who's the inside man, who's the whistleblower. That is,
right.
that became obvious that that's what they want. And guys, you come in as well because this lets us know as Floridians that they're playing politics with our lives.
Right.
That's really what it suggests to us.
Which we've known. We should have known that before this, but we just continue to get proof that they'll fudge the numbers if it favors their agenda, which is sad.
Absolutely.
We know how bad Miami-Dade has been. We know how bad South Florida has been, and you don't even really hear about it. You don't even really hear about them making more strict mandates. DeSantis said himself, he's not going to mandate masks and all these things. So they're really not trying to take the precautions to make it safer at all. And making the number seem not as bad obviously works in their favor. So for that reason, it is believable that she would have been asked
But
to do that.
But I don't have a problem with him not wanting to be a leader and him sitting on his hands as a leader. My problem is he don't want other people to be a leader. That's these people ran, even the new mayor and other mayors, they have to fight you to do their job. And again, this goes back to people voting and things like that, because people need to know the whole story, because a lot of these people political careers are going to be affected, because people are going to say, well, you did this, these people need to keep talking because they're trying to fight to be the leader. And then you got a governor. Like, never in my life have I seen a governor just so defiant, as well as a president. Of course, that's a whole no, we all know that. Like, they go out of their way to say, I don't want to be your leader. DeSantis has said repeatedly he's going to allow each mayor to dictate whatever, but he'll step in where needed. But then you always step in where you really not needed. No, let these people run there like they don't ask for him. And then when they ask for you, they got to send a ghost out to find you, because you ain't nowhere to be found. Like, hey, Mr. Governor, we want you now, and you who knows what you're doing. And that's the part that I have a problem with. Like, you don't want the people to be leaders, but you don't want to be. It's like it's an insult to you that they would try to lead.
Absolutely. I think it brings more insult to our state, primarily because we are the highest, and it makes it even evident why people don't want to wear masks now. I can wear a mask, but John Doe won't wear a mask because the leaders and the president and our own governor won't wear a mask nor mandate it. So it'll never get better because, as you stated, Kim, our leader doesn't even portray that ability to say, hey, this is what we need to do.
And if the numbers are being fudged in the wrong direction, it gives the appearance that it's safe. Right. That we're okay.
Right.
I think when the numbers were high and being told as high, more people wore masks. And I would suggest to anybody, don't go somewhere that's not mandating a mask. Make that your priority. Even here at our church, we did a soft opening with very few people. I think 20. We had 30 people with everybody, but we mandated masks because we cannot we cannot go by the numbers, and it's sad that we can't do that. Until we get somebody in leadership that we can trust, and preferably when the changing of the guard takes place, then the president is going to demand, and so it's going to come from the top. He's going to take the power out of the state's hands, because obviously, most of these governors are not doing what they should be doing, and
that's where it's going to get really, really crazy at, because what numbers, like DeSantis gonna portray these numbers, and Biden has already come in and said the first 100 days is gonna be. I can see Florida on the news right now, because DeSantis still gonna be saying something just to be defiant, like just to show you not gonna tell us what to do. And then you're gonna have that core group that's gonna listen to what he say now, because when Biden come in and say 100 days mandatory mask, are you gonna be saying these mayors can't find people again? Like, people are just gonna be so confused about what do you do, who do you listen to? It's just so much defiance. And it's crazy, because when I think about DeSantis, all I think about is when he was running and he said, don't let the other man monkey up the election. Well, you monkeying up the whole state, sir. Like, we just running around looking like a bunch of fools. You might well drop a plane full of bananas on Florida, because you got us looking crazy. And you're not even trying to do right by the state and right by people.
Oh God, only Lady Austin could throw that. Well, speaking of 45, speaking of 45, I don't know what man you want to call him now, but the man that just won't quit. But when I look at the amount of money that he's raising, he's raised $207 million since election day, pushing false claims. So Brandon, the man that just won't quit, has raised from October to now is close to $500 million. Why would you quit if people keep giving towards your false allegation? Is it sad to say that a man can raise $500 million after losing simply because he say he didn't lose?
Yeah, and I think it just kind of furthers prove what we already know about his base. You know, the cult like following that he has. Um, it's sad, really, that you know just his word, just him saying, "Oh, I didn't lose this. We were cheated. Give me money so that we can prove it." And they keep giving the money. Like, you know, is there anything worse that you could give toward? You know, like, and it's
We need to
like,
give some of these people our pledge link, man. You know,
Hello, somebody.
let's make up some kind of story and just say, hey, we send your money. But it really is just sad, that they really will do anything at this point for him to stay in office. That's how I feel. They'll do anything. And the people are convinced because of what he's saying. They're convinced that he did not lose, and I just don't understand why they just won't accept it. You know what I mean? It's
but
just
it's
like,
only because he said it. They have been to
right,
court every day practically since the election and have lost, but
Every
he
day.
keeps saying he didn't lose, and so they keep giving. Every time he says he didn't lose, they give more money.
yeah. So
The
why
problem
would
I
he stop?
have,
Why would he stop saying that? Why wouldn't he
I
stop it? You
don't
gonna keep
know.
sending your money? Like, okay,
I think these people need to invest in like their own medication or something, because something wrong with these people. Because this is the same man that told y'all Corona wasn't real. It was gonna go away when it get hot. Well, he turned around. He got Corona. His wife got Corona. Half his
Son,
family probably don't have Corona. His legal team who
His
helping him
lawyer
fight
got
the
corona.
battle.
Corona.
Like God is showing up in everything he say to show y'all, hey, it's like the devil walking around with the little thing in his hand. He telling y'all, showing y'all who he is, and yet and now he telling y'all he won. Same man say Corona ain't real, but the numbers going up. Y'all supporting. Now he's saying I won. Y'all supporting. It's like that shows the mental state. I hate to say it, that our country is in. Mental illness is real, people. Mental illness is real. You have to be mentally ill to just
28
stand
mark,
behind
28 mark.
somebody.
I told you at the
No, but
28 mark. If
you
she
have to be mentally ill to stand by. Like, it's the same man that told y'all I can stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot a gun and nothing ain't gonna happen. And everything he tell y'all he do, and when it's a lie, he say, "Oh, well, y'all knew I was playing." Same man
Yep.
said, "Put bleach inject bleach in you." Y'all knew I was playing, but you keep on giving. You
And he
know,
tried it too.
he need to come out and say,
right,
"I'm just playing. I know I lost. I was just
right,
playing."
Got
right.
some money.
Right. And then you got people trying to sue him to get their money back. You ain't
Yep.
even talk about that. You got people trying to
Yeah.
sue him to get their money back because they claiming he ain't came with the proof yet. Man, please. If that's the case, Miss Cleo owed a lot of people. They ain't tell Cleo to get nobody money back. She just went straight to jail. So when they gonna take Trump to jail?
He trying to pardon himself. He ain't going. He gonna pardon himself.
And it's gotten bad because a lot of people are starting to get off the Trump train. Even some at Fox News have really started to get off of the train. And if you really notice some of the press conferences that his lawyers are doing, other news outlets are now carrying them, and we're going to show you one in a moment. Because even the people at Fox News, understanding that this is not a winning hand. So we might as well throw this hand in. But there was a judge on Fox News that could not follow suit, and she had something to say about the Attorney General. I want you guys to hear this 30-second soundbite because she has gone off. She's gone off to the Attorney General because he won't co-sign what Trump is saying. I want you guys to hear this.
Unfortunately, the Attorney General, Bill Barr, has proven himself to be anything other than extraordinary. This week, Barr commented that he has not seen fraud on a scale that could have affected a different outcome in the election. Really? It's curious Barr, the head of the DOJ, would affirmatively make a statement regarding a pending investigation. As a former prosecutor for over 3 decades, I, and virtually everyone similarly situated, know that DOJ guidelines do not allow comment on investigations. They neither confirm nor deny the existence of any investigation, yet Barr actually goes beyond that. And you, Mr. Barr, are so deep in the swamp, you can't see beyond your fellow reptiles. And you are not the exceptional leader needed at this exceptional time in history.
Well, all right.
And you are not who we need for this time because you're so far up the other people's butt now. Now, we did a whole show about Mr. Barr when he got on national TV after the president said, you know, try to vote twice. And he said, well, I'm not sure if that's illegal. This is the same Barr. But now that he has suggested that he doesn't see a legal basis for the election being rigged, now he's not who we need for this hour. Like, and the thing about it is, these people get paid a lot of money to come on TV with this rhetoric. I wasn't gonna quite say that, but it's out there now. And it's just amazing to me how everybody is, I mean, we see it in Georgia, we see it, the governor, everybody is now being attacked. Trump started with DeSantis. He started with DeSantis basically saying, if I don't win Florida, I'm going to attack you. He's attacking Kemp in Georgia because he's attacking the governor in Pennsylvania. He's attacking the governor in Arizona. Every place or every person that won't agree with what he's saying is now all of a sudden the enemy. When 6 months ago, they were allies. They were best friends. Maybe I'm missing something. Am I missing something? I don't get it.
No,
because 6 months ago, he could not fathom the fact that this man older than me can beat me. He could not fathom that. And he's pretty much said that.
He got beat by a senior citizen in the basement.
Right. and he can't. It go back to he's come out and said it. He told somebody the other day, oh, I just know he didn't beat me. The reason why y'all know he didn't beat me because when Obama won, he won by this amount. And those same people that voted for Obama, more of them showed up for Biden. That's just not possible. Biden could never get more of those people than Biden. And that's pretty much how he said it. Basically, saying black people are disgrace. Y'all ain't supposed to come and vote. You know, y'all not supposed to do these things. And they underestimated that people would turn out. They underestimated that everybody ain't sipping on your Kool-Aid. They underestimated that people don't like they just did not fathom. Just like in the debate, every time Pence was talking to Kamala and talking about when she was like, when we beat, he was like, oh, we're gonna win. Oh, it was just as nonchalant. And they just underestimate that people are tired. So he don't want to believe that. And his own niece said he can't lose. He can't deal with losing. And he's out of touch with reality. You know, if you his age, you done lost that something in your life, sir. I don't care what the people around you don't try to convince you.
Nah, the
Okay,
preacher, remember the man prayed the prayer that
man,
he never
please,
lost in it. Remember,
right,
the man prayed, the
whatever,
man got on his knees and said,
And
Lord
cried.
help him. He never lost nothing in his life. That
Cried.
man was crying. I don't know what
He was
you talking
weeping.
about.
He
Trump
was
ain't never
weeping.
lost nothing.
He was
okay.
weeping.
So anyway,
I
and they
replay
need to
the
go.
prayer now. You want me to go back and replay
And
the prayer?
as I said at the 28 mark, mental illness is
It
real.
is real.
Okay,
I agree.
it's real. It is real. So if you can't deal with defeat at 70 some years old, then something sure enough wrong with you. And the people around you that's coddling you,
Wrong with
they
you.
just whatever as you are. And that's the problem that he could not fathom that this man was gonna beat him. And he couldn't fathom that the man beat him by more than what Obama, because everybody know he's obsessed with Obama. So now you
Mm-hmm.
beat me by more than what Obama beat me by. He's saying that's the reason he won. But the problem is that don't prove nothing in court, because that's probably what he's telling the people in court. Look at the numbers. Obama only won by this much. That's why they keep throwing him out faster than he can get through the door. Because that ain't no
But
proof. That's just up in your head. That's in his head.
so, Brandon, I mean, I think you said this, and I agree that this election was more anti-Trump than it was pro-Biden, and so therefore, as Kimberly said, Trump hasn't been able to fathom how he lost so bad because in his mind, everybody likes me. You know, everybody loves me, and this
Right.
election has proven to be more anti-him than it is pro-Biden.
Right. Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
and so therefore it's hard to rationalize why I can't accept this loss because my rallies were packed, you know, and Biden had little circles, little kindergarten circles with
Right.
5 and 6 people, and he ran the whole time from his basement and he beat them. And so, but I had all these great rallies where everybody liked me and they humped their horns, they flew their flags. So it's no way I could have lost.
Yeah, and he should have known once he saw the real numbers of the 10-man MAGA march or whatever that was they had.
Mm.
Uh, he it really was that.
The,
I really
the
believe
thousand
that it was
march,
more.
you mean the 1,000-man march?
Yeah, okay. Maybe yeah, all right.
Honey.
The thing is that, you know, for a lot of people, even myself included, you know, I have been open about it. I wasn't the biggest Biden fan, wasn't the biggest Harris fan. But there was no way I was going to support 45. You know what I mean? So it really did come down to that. And I think so many people felt that way, that it was just like, there's just no way we can let this guy get back in. And thankfully, the number of people that felt that way outweighed the people that wanted him back in. And it began to cross party lines, really, where even some of the Republicans was like, we can't let this guy back in. So even some Republicans voted Democrat as far as that particular race was, because it was really more so anti-Trump. So, you know, for whatever reason, you know, people like that, they can't accept losing. Like he is incapable of accepting that fact. You know, even based upon what some of his family has said about him, he is literally incapable of doing it. He's incapable of coming to terms with the fact that he lost or that he's not very good at what he's doing. So, you know, you just have to know that about him and know that he's not going to accept. I don't think he's ever going to accept this loss. Never going to concede.
But
he's never going to accept this. So we don't even have to wait for that. So,
you do know they have something for people like that, though, right? It's being an officer. You do know they do stuff for people like that. It's called Baker Act.
Yeah,
it's called Baker Act.
There's a lot of resources out there.
Yeah.
You can dial if you're in Broward County, you can dial, I think, 211, and they'll give you
211, absolutely.
Well, they need to just go ahead and Baker act him on the 19th, so
I'm not
America.
sure what the number is for Palm Beach. I know he was
311.
but maybe
311.
311. Okay, so for Palm Beach, if someone can DM President Trump the 211 number for Palm Beach, and he'll get a whole litany of resources
Absolutely.
to get the help he needs.
That's what Ron DeSantis. He got all the resources for Department of Children and Families.
Yeah,
he can definitely help out there. It's so many different umbrellas for us. I mean, he can definitely get those direct resources for the state of Florida. Not a problem.
yeah. I mean that's what it is. Because if it was me or you standing out there talking about the stuff we could do, that's what somebody be trying to say for one of us, and he just as average as one of us. Ain't nothing special about him. He just as average. You stand there talking about you go to your job. You show up at your job talking about I ain't fired and keep trying to put that code in and go to the office all you want. They show up at you. You something, you gonna do something. And you stand there talking about and let your mama be talking about let your mama be saying but you let your mama be saying Brandon never lost nothing in his life. She gonna get the baby ass right with him. But I don't understand why we keep making exceptions for this man and his mental illness. That is just it's crazy to me. Like, is this America?
It's bad.
People get Baker Act for less stuff.
Way less.
Yeah, actually.
And he can't fathom losing. I mean, are you 45 or are you 4 or 5? What are you, sir?
9.
The only reason, like we know, the only reason he thinks this election is rigged is because he lost. Like there's no other reason. Like there's no other reason. There's no facts. There's nothing. The only thing he's basing it on is the fact that he lost.
But the thing about it is, he stated like he was gonna lose prior to. This is gonna. How do you paint a picture? You lay out the picture, and then when the picture is exposed, now you can't deal with it. Are you kidding me? Like he painted the picture. This is what's gonna happen, and this. Like you created this movie, sir.
According to Trump, Atlanta Falcons, and who played in the Super Bowl last year? San Francisco 49ers. They won the Super Bowl. They was in the league. They was in the league. At halftime they were winning. So I think we crowned the wrong champions. I don't think the Chiefs not the champions. It's the 49ers because they were winning.
And also Nate Robinson won that boxing match.
And Nate Robinson didn't go Nate. He go to sleep, because he threw the first blow. He came out swinging like an alley cat.
Yeah.
You need to cut it out. It's funny that when somebody is like unconscious, the first thing you wake up, they say, who is the president? Well, Trump, 10 years from now, people gonna say Donald Trump. That's what he wants y'all to say. Who's the president? And that's how they know if you sane or not. That's gonna be the trick question 10 years from now.
What you think Nate said? What you think Nate said? What you think Nate said when they asked him that?
JFK.
What he said, he might have said Queen Elizabeth or something.
Oh God.
Oh God. Y'all still messing with Nate. That ain't right.
We only mess with Trump on this show. You messing with Nate.
But the place he has not phantomed that he's lost the most is Georgia. Georgia is all eyes are on Georgia. Everybody's got Georgia on their mind right now because apparently the Democrats didn't steal right because according to Trump they stole it, but they didn't do a good job stealing because they didn't take the 2 Senate seats. If I'm gonna steal, I'm not gonna leave. I'm not gonna leave the most valuable thing behind, which is the 2 Senate seats.
Right.
Those are more valuable because, unfortunately for Trump, he lost so bad. Even if he wins Georgia, he still lost.
Right.
But all eyes are on Georgia now, and there's 2 seats up for 2 Senate seats. There's a runoff in 2 elections, and I don't know if you guys got the chance to watch the debates, but I'm telling you, if you thought the presidential debates were something, these debates that went down in Georgia was something just absolutely insane. What was happening in Georgia? If I can put it mildly, one lady decides that she's going.
Oh, he must have been like Trump. He saw it coming.
Yeah, I think we lost them.
Can they still hear us in the show?
They can still hear us, but we'll give him a moment to get back going. The graphic is up, so
yeah. So basically, these are the 2 that decided to show up for the debate and actually debate, because the 2 others. Oh, there goes Pastor. Well, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Oh, I'm back.
Welcome back.
I bet you won't talk about DeSantis no more.
I know. You said he was going to come. You said DeSantis was going to come and do something, and you spoke that over my life.
And you just talked about that on Bible study. Be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, DeSantis, come up in here if you want to.
You better get right with God first.
That's what he better do.
So, Miss Lawford, she and Mr. Warnock, I don't know if you guys got a chance to see the debate, but she was so busy trying to call him a radical liberal Mr. Man with her Barbie doll, $800 million fortune, and her $10 million home and estate, and she was so just robotic. She had such a sense of entitlement to this position. And then in the other debate, he thought so much about the debate that he didn't even show up. Mr. Dupree didn't even show up. He didn't even think that he had the debate because, and the question I want to say is, what is going on with the sense of entitlement in this country? There's a massive sense of entitlement that needs to be eradicated to the point where in a runoff election for a Senate seat, you don't bother to show up. Headline reads, John Ossoff debates an empty podium. You didn't even bother to show up.
But if you remember when Trump was going through all his trials and stuff, the Republican, even Barr, they was sending out the slips to tell these people, you're summoning these people, and they weren't going to the thing then. Remember? Doing some of the doing something like that's that side, that sense of entitlement. They were refusing to show up. Meanwhile, if you mess around and don't go to jury duty, you going somewhere. They gonna find you to go somewhere. So yeah, that sense of entitlement is so one-sided. Of course, we as African Americans, we already know that, but really it starts from the head. Trump is often known for telling people he not doing this, that's not going to happen, I'm not going to do it. So all the people that follow him pretty much do the same thing. These people have been subpoenaed to go to court, to go talk before the Senate and all these things that was going on prior to the election and stuff. A lot of them didn't come. And what happened to them? So why should these people feel like this is what we have to do? And it's going to get worse when Biden becomes, you're going to really see the sense of entitlement when Biden becomes, because they already feel like Trump is their commander. He telling them what to do. They're going to be so disobedient and so defiant to the law Where they talking about Biden want to defund police, he ain't gonna be able to, because the police gonna be who he need by his side, because they gonna be just doing all kind of crazy stuff, because they just have a sense of entitlement.
And I think a lot of times when you see wealth, you see a sense of entitlement. Unfortunately, you know, and not in all cases. There's some people that are wealthy that are humble, but you know, there are a lot of people, especially a lot of them that are in politics. They got that money. They feel like the position is supposed to be theirs, or whatever they want is supposed to be theirs. And you know, they really just need to be humbled, really. And I think when you talk about voters, you know, that should say something to you as a voter, that someone feels like, one, they don't even need to show up so that I can hear what they have to say. And two, they can get up there and say things that have no substance and still expect that they're going to win. You know, as a voter, that should tell me, well, you know, if you don't think you owe me an explanation or owe me an opportunity to hear you speak about it, as close as it is, then you don't deserve my vote. You know, you don't deserve to get my vote. So that should say something to the voters. You know, people in Georgia should really see a little bit more clearly now as far as who should get those seats. But unfortunately, with a lot of people, you know, that wealth creates that entitlement, and that's just dangerous, because it doesn't matter how wealthy you are. It doesn't matter what position you're in. You should never feel entitled to anything.
And it's interesting that you said that, because this week, I don't know if y'all been following the Lori Locklear case where they paid for the children to go to college. And the daughter was on the Red Table Talk this week, and she talked about her growing up and being entitled and in a bubble, so she was oblivious to this, what could happen. I don't know if y'all saw that. So it's the same way in politics and in the outside world with the wealth and things like that. But the crazy part is, it just show you can have money and you could be just as ignorant and stupid as 45. Because these people got all this money, and look at this Barbie on TV. She can't hold a decent conversation. They can't articulate with all the money in the world, all the things they could buy. They can't even buy a good script to talk to somebody face to face. So you entitled, but at some point your entitlement gets you out. Only gets you so far.
Money don't make you smart.
Relatable. Right? They're not relatable. Her parents couldn't buy her education. Trump couldn't buy this election. Well, maybe with the money they giving him after the fact, he might, you know, I don't know. But
yeah, money don't make you smart, you know.
No.
It's not the end all be all for things. You can have a lot of money and still be lacking in a lot of areas.
We are not going to allow ourselves to go back into the polling booth. And you hear us out, Governor Kemp. You hear me while you hide in your closet. And you hear us. You hear the people, Brad Raffensperger. And I want Lieutenant Governor Jeffrey Duncan to hear it too. And the guy that's making a ton of money, Gabriel Sterling. You listen up, Gabriel. You're not going to sell our votes to China. We're not going to vote on your damn machines made in China. We're going to vote on machines made in the USA.
So the man telling the people not to vote, we ain't voting. Trump don't care no more. You know, he can't win. He don't want the other people to win too. So he tell them people don't. His lawyer, you know, because his other lawyer got COVID. So this is the new spokesperson now. So we ain't voting on your machines, and so basically we ain't voting. I mean, if I was the Democrats, I would just play this. I would buy ads just playing this. Yeah, don't vote. Yeah, great. You know,
And then when they lose, they gonna want to spend the rest of the year counting, finding votes. When you just told people not to go
Don't
vote.
vote. Tell them just vote mail in then.
No, because he told people don't do that before. Remember?
But
My
that's
bad.
what did it. I know, y'all.
Just vote mail in. Oh wait, they told me not to do that.
Rich and dumb, rich and dumb.
What's interesting about that is you see how you get a good glimpse. Although Trump is not in that video, you get a good glimpse of how Trump operates and how
But you felt
to him.
You felt that, yeah.
Right? Like, so Kemp has been his biggest fan, his biggest supporter. They were buddy, right? But one thing that Kemp has done that Trump didn't like or went against what he wanted done, whether it was right or wrong, and all of a sudden Kemp is now the enemy. All the Trump supporters out there, like, this should tell you everything you need to know. He is about himself and about what he wants. He does not care about the people. He does not care about anyone supporting him. Okay, he only cares if you're doing what he wants you to do. As soon as as soon as you don't do what he want to do, he throw you to the curb and he'll start talking about you. He's done the same thing with Kemp. He said about DeSantis and maybe we should fire him, whatever. Like, how do you support someone like this that clearly is just about what he wants? Is, you know, literally Kemp and DeSantis really have both made themselves look like idiots for the last year for the sake of supporting this guy. And they finally, say no basically to him, like, we can't do this. And all of a sudden they're the enemy.
He wants Kemp to ignore the will of the people in his state. No, mind you now, Kemp has to run again.
Yeah.
Kemp has to run again. He's in his first term. So, this is not even something that, hey, man, I might have could have helped you if I was on my last term, but I'm on my first term. I'm trying to get back to I'm trying to stay in the governor's mansion, number one. But not only that, I don't know if you guys saw it today. I think there are 4 states suing. States are suing each other to try to force governors to change the electorate. Like, I don't understand what is going on in this country. It is laughable to see the amount of money and time being spent to change something that ain't gonna change.
Right. It's crazy. That's all it's doing a few things. Like, come on, man. Like, this is just ridiculous at this point. The guy lost, okay? It's over. All right? It's done. The fat lady.
Because at this point, why did we have an election? Why did we have an election?
The fat lady is
man, he lost so bad. That fat lady was on Weight Watchers and she still sung and he lost. Okay, that's how bad he lost. The Weight Watchers fat lady song.
Man, like what is happening?
It's this mental state of mind. That's the only thing that can explain anything.
He lost 3 times in Georgia because they did three recounts.
How many times you lose the same election? Like, how many times you gonna lose, man?
That's like the Tootsie Roll Pop. How many licks it take to get? How many times?
How many counts does it take
for the official? But now they're going after. They're going after now. They're going after her. Her group is under investigation now because, again, we wasn't expecting the Negroes to come out like that. So you must have done something wrong. So now she's under investigation.
I guess she the new Harriet Tubman. She got everybody to run to the polls. That's how they thinking about it. They think she the new Harriet, so they got to stop her.
Hey, come on, y'all.
I tried to end the show an hour ago.
I'm gone.
What?
Somebody just called me, man.
They compared her to the new Harriet. She ran the people to the polls in Georgia.
I need somebody knocking, man. I gotta go.
Right. You hear that?
We all
Gotta
gonna
go,
get a
man.
Who is it?
It's either that or
That's
she the fat
Secret
lady that's
Service,
gonna
man.
sing.
That's Secret Service knocking.
It's either that or she the fat lady that's gonna sing and he gonna call it quits. One or the other.
They're gonna try
all get a
everything,
knock.
man. They're
It's
gonna
gonna
try
be
everything.
simple.
And all she did was get out and get people to vote. And of course they're gonna attack her. Like everybody's applauding her for the job she did.
Right. So
She's a
something
target.
gotta be wrong with what
Yes,
she
something
did.
gotta be wrong. She's a target. So, you know,
Black,
the good
she a
thing, the good
woman,
thing about
everything
being
that
under
defines what he likes.
the good thing about being under investigation is that you know, nothing has been proven yet. Trump knows about that. You can be under investigation. You know, just that you're just under investigation. And I haven't done anything wrong that we know. I haven't done anything right. We don't know. We're just under investigation. So let them investigate. Maybe they'll find some more votes.
The other way, they did find some over. They wasn't for Trump.
It's just, again, I mean, this is the type of stuff, you know, and we say your vote matters, your vote counts until it doesn't count.
Right.
You know, that's basically, and I think I brought this up on the show, if not in private conversations. The thing that kind of troubles me about the Republican Party is you never really hear them talking and advocating voting.
Right.
Like, they don't talk about register. They don't have voting drives.
Nope.
You never hear them talking about voting,
Which is weird.
and which is weird, right? But the one time that they lose and lose mightily is red.
Because they underestimated.
But they never think about this. Think about this for those that are watching. Think about this. Have you heard a commercial led by a Republican that talked about early voting? Go register. The deadline to vote is this. They don't talk about it.
Nope.
Because why don't you talk about something? You don't talk about something when you feel like you already got it manipulated.
That sense of entitlement.
Sense of entitlement, manipulation. And so now it's kind of like, you know, when you was playing sports and they said you got to win, you got to beat the team and the ref.
That's exactly.
Well, that's what Stacey Abrams did in Georgia. She got so many people out there to vote that even the rigging couldn't work.
That's
because
right.
she saw because remember, she lost by Kemp by a very small margin.
Yeah.
So let's be real. Truth be told, she wasn't just working for Biden, she was working for herself. Because she wants to rerun again.
Right.
So she like, let me get all these people to re-register. Biden gonna benefit from it, but in another 2 years, guess what? Thank you very much. So the sister girl was smart.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
I just think
because she saw. But the thing about it is, the election for the governor showed the direction in which Georgia was heading. So it's no surprise,
right,
that Georgia flipped. Because who would have ever thought she would have came as a black Democrat coming that close to beating a white Republican? That was unheard of in Georgia. But nobody called it red then because he won.
Yeah.
Well, Trump
but now all of a sudden, Trump is red because you lost, and all of a sudden, like Brandon said, Kemp is the worst thing in the world. But what can Kemp do?
The same thing DeSantis do: get people arrested and go after people, send the feds for people. I guess that's what Trump would like for him to do. But you say Stacey Abrams smart, Trump smart too, because he getting all y'all money now for when he run in 2024. So he say he's smart too.
Well, let's talk about
if anybody watching
voting process.
If anybody watching it is donating to the if anybody watching is donating to the Trump fund, be smart about your money. I got a pledge that you could donate toward.
part.
Inbox
Well,
me. I got a college fund, a
Right.
pledge, a
I
mortgage
got all
payment.
kinds of
Any, I
stuff.
got a whole
Better
lot of
places
stuff you
to
can
go.
help.
Better
Help
places
if
to
you
go.
want to help.
just 50 cents a day.
I give you my wife route number, put it in her account. I don't care.
Whoever. Anybody.
50 cents a day. 50 cents a day. That's
Add
it.
up, Kim.
Let let's go. Let's talk about the current president, the president elect.
The
He's trying to make good
president,
on his
yeah.
campaign promise of making his cabinet look like America. And
I
for a
heard.
while, until recently, he has, some blacks came out and started criticizing President-elect Biden because they're saying there was not enough blacks in his cabinet. And recently, he has nominated to fill two positions, Secretary of Defense and Secretary of Housing. He's nominated two African Americans. One is Austin Lloyd, a four-star general. He's nominated him to be his Secretary of Defense. And then he's nominated a black female, Ms. Marcy Fudge, to be the Secretary of HUD. So, Brandon, as we look at his cabinet shape out, how do you think that he's going to be able to fulfill his promise of making his cabinet look like America?
Oh, so you mean he didn't put a new president over HUD? Didn't do that?
Not this
Gonna do what?
time. Not this time. He didn't put the brain surgeon over HUD. Nah,
Oh, okay.
not this time.
Oh, okay. Well, I think he can fulfill his promise. I think so far so good. I mean, I don't really know what our full expectations to be as far as what the cabinet looks like. I think there has to be a balance between diversity and
Intelligence.
and the right people for the job.
Qualifications.
Qualifications has so I think with those the two appointments that he's made, I think it's good. From on all accounts, it appears as though they are qualified. I don't expect the cabinet to be all black. I mean, come on now, I don't expect it to be. I don't expect it to be all of anything. Like, let's not be unrealistic. You know what I mean? It should be diverse, and it should be qualified more than anything.
I'm surprised because the communication part of the cabinet is all female. So I know he caught a lot of slack for that. It's all women.
Yeah. Which, and we saw, obviously him choosing Harris kind of showed a little bit of what direction maybe he wanted to go in that regard anyway. But, even with that, I mean, vice president, we can start there as far as the diversity we're looking for. Like, that's big that he chose that. And then, so I think he's already kind of started checking those boxes as far as it being diverse, as far as it being, some blacks in there. Like, I don't know how much more we should expect from that, but my main thing is.
But I'm going to throw something out here, and it might be a popular statement, but, we say it in our own inner circles that it's hard to please us, right? Nikisha, yes, it's hard to please us, right? So my question, Nikisha, is like, as Brandon was kind of leading to, what would be enough? Because again, there were rumblings again, and he hasn't even finished his selections yet. But the big four, which they call what the big four they consider is Secretary of State, and the other I'm drawing a blank now. But at the four, there were no blacks yet. And so here was the rumblings. Oh, he's not doing whatever. But as Brandon said, well, he started with the person next to him being black and a female. So we can't discount that because she's a a heart attack away from being the president. So, but again,
We are
it's
on
hard to
worst
please
critics.
us.
But some of these people that complain about no blacks, they won't hire a black to cut their yard. They won't do nothing. Like, it's easy for you to be nothing and doing nothing and never been in a position to be talking about
Absolutely.
what somebody won't do. They won't hire a black to be they Uber driver. If
Absolutely.
they had to pick, they pick a white
Or
Uber
support
driver.
black business.
Right, they
Let's go
gonna do
there.
so.
Absolutely. That's it
Right.
right there.
So I never was one for I mean, the way I look at it, the man is vetting and going after competent people. Right there, he
Qualified, right.
100% above what the last administration did. Because the last administration did the total opposite. You too competent, you buy. You ain't got no, you buy. You ain't got enough fingers, buy. You ain't got enough. They did the opposite. So it's really nothing that this man could have said. And the truth be told, half the people talking, they wouldn't have hired a black to do nothing. They wouldn't. And half of them talk, most of these people are doctors and stuff like that. Some of them people talking don't know a doctor other than the one they go to. They don't know a doctor personally. So how are you going to tell somebody how to, I mean, we got to let this stuff play out.
Yeah.
If you voted for this man, you put him in place. You know this country is in turmoil, because if you turn around and you get a cabinet with all these women and all these black people, and it turn out they mass murderers or something stupid, y'all ain't gonna be he shouldn't have did that. Now you gonna flip and say something crazy. Or he should have known, he should have looked better into her. He should have did it. We went at it with this man about the vice president pick, okay? And he ended up picking somebody and a lot of other stuff. And so we need to just let this man do what he do.
His work.
The thing we fail to realize is this man been there before. This ain't his first rodeo to the White House. He been there before. So he already a step above Trump and his administration. And many of the people that he's putting back in the White House, they were already there. He's just changing some of their roles.
The thing about it is, go ahead, Nikisha. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think for us, we started out with this black agenda, and soon as you get some type of agenda, it never is enough to please us.
We never found out what that was, by the way.
Right.
We don't know,
we
but
still trying to figure out.
We won't. And I
Paint
feel
the
like
White House black. That's the agenda.
We want the Caucasian agenda. The Caucasian agenda.
I feel like we're our own worst critics. Soon as we get a black VP, that ain't good enough. You get a whole line of black communications, that's not enough. You paint the White House black, that's not going to be enough. It's literally never enough to please us. And like Kim said, we're our own worst critic. We won't even support black businesses. We gonna ask Boa Pera for a discount, knowing that it's a small business. So I'm just like,
and not gonna get it.
So I'm like, what do we do? Like, how do you please us? Like, I don't even know. I'm just like,
that starts with we gotta know what we want.
But we don't.
If you don't know what you want, if you don't know what you want, you would never reach a point of satisfaction. That's the good thing in life, right? You got to know what you want, so that you know, okay, this is the point where I'm satisfied at. If you don't know what you want, what you're trying to get, you're not gonna be satisfied. So as far as the agenda, we don't know what the agenda is. We don't know what the agenda should look like. So nothing is ever going to be enough because we don't know what we want. Like, it's like, we did this. Well, no, that ain't enough. Well,
Biden signed the declaration to give us 40 acres and a mule, and somebody said, well, hell, by now it should be 50 because he waited too long. You know, that goes back to what Brandon says. We don't know what we want. And the thing about it is, something else that we tend to do, and again, it's us, so we can talk about us. We don't let nobody else talk about it, but we'll talk about us. What tends to happen is we weren't putting this pressure on Trump. We always put the pressure when we feel like it's our own entitlement. I put you there, so you could have put this same type of pressure on Trump. Nobody cared. Nobody cared that he didn't have any blacks other than Ben Carson is the blackest person in the White House right now. Nobody cared because they didn't expect it of him. And so our expectations tend to only matter when we feel like we got you there.
And it's that, and there's also that familiarity thing. Familiarity is one of the biggest causes of failure, okay? Especially in the business world. So we see somebody that looks like us, and we're familiar with that. So now we want a favor, right? But if I give you too many favors, now I'm going to fail. So I can't do that, right? We don't go to the white business, to the Jewish business, and ask them for discount. It's when we go to the black business and you're like, well, we got to look out for you. No, it needs to be the opposite. Whenever I shop small business, wherever I shop black business or business, somebody that I know, even if they offer me a discount, I do not take it. I will not take a discount from a small business, from a black business, from a business that someone I know personally. I won't take a discount. I will not do that. I want to pay full price, if not plus some, because I want to support what you're doing. But that familiarity, right? We see you look like me, you talk like me, we the same. Okay, this is what I need from you. Then I need you to hook me up. This is what I need. But we don't ask that of no one else. We don't ask that from no one else.
But the thing about it, we say we don't know what we want. But the thing is, looking at Trump, we know what we don't want. We didn't want him. So now if we got somebody that we say we want, we got to allow that man the opportunity in the space to do his job. And again, we pick somebody that's been there before. We let Trump come in fighting blind, and we see what he did. At least Biden been there, and he's showing some of the patterns that line up with what's been in the past. So we gotta allow the man to do his job.
Right. And we can't be unrealistic.
We support the sister girl. We gotta allow her to be behind him to know that she's not gonna let him go wrong.
We can't be unrealistic. All right. We can't be unrealistic. And we got to trust that the person we put in there is going to make the best decisions, and it's going to put people that's above anything else. We should want people that are qualified for the position. Now, the good thing about that is there are people of color, there are black people that are qualified for these positions, so they should get them. But it can, the color of the person should not be the qualification. It should be that what they've done and what they can do in this position should be the qualification. All we're asking is find the black people that can do the job and give them that spot. I'm not saying put everybody black in there, because I don't think we want that either, to be quite honest. All right. That's not diversity.
We don't want no blackout.
No, we don't want a blackout. No, we need a little bit. We need a little bit of everybody in there.
Absolutely. We need that balance.
Yeah, we need some balance. It can't be all of us, because we'll turn something into a barbecue real quick.
Oh, come on now.
It's funny you say that, Brandon, because as you were saying that, I think about where you work, BSO. And I just literally just left BSO today. I didn't get arrested, but I think about BSO, and the sheriff said out of his mouth today that he's black and the undersheriff is black. And someone brought up that, why did he have to choose that person? It was enough that he was black. But he said what you just said, she was qualified. And so therefore, as you're saying, all African Americans have ever wanted was when there is an opportunity for somebody to be qualified, to get a position, don't overlook me.
Right.
They want
and I applaud him for not overlooking her in fear that, okay, it's going to be too black. Because why? As he said, in some cases, we do need to play catch up a little bit.
Yeah.
We do need to play catch up a little bit. But however, as you said earlier, his promise was not blackness, it was diversity.
Right.
It was diversity. And so therefore, right, we don't often know what that means. Diversity is everybody.
Right.
Now what
we think it's just this.
What we see in the current administration is a whiteout. We see that clearly.
Right.
Because if you look at any campaign rally, if you look at any press conference, if Ben Carson is not there, ain't no blacks there.
And the sad part is, like we jokingly said earlier, he put a the neurosurgeon over her. It was an insult. The job
Right.
he did get blacks was an insult. Even when he wanted to hire
Oh, let's
people,
not
he
forget about
hired.
Amoroso. I forgot about
I was
Amoroso. I forgot about Amoroso.
California, but
Yeah,
that job
Omarosa,
was an
yeah.
insult. Amorosa was a prominent lawyer at somewhere, but he didn't even put her in that kind of position. She ain't on his legal team or nothing. He didn't even make her like the jobs that the blacks got through Trump wasn't even credible, and we didn't even argue or debate. You know,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Diversity is not just us. That's not what diversity is. Diversity is a little bit of everybody. Okay, a melting pot. That's what diversity is, and that's what we should want in mostly all things, right? We should want people from every sector, from everything, and that's what we should want in the White House as well, because we did not get that the last 4 years. Even with being there, we did not get diversity. Okay, we didn't get diversity even with being there.
I'm trying to keep a straight face.
What was Ben really doing anyway? This is a guy that spent his life in medical
Making
surgery,
white rice.
working on people's brains, right? Now he over hood.
He was cooking white rice.
Talking about having a degree you're not using.
He probably never even been to like no projects or nothing. You put him over hood like he.
Name one project, Ben. Name one. Name one.
Well, guys, it was good for us to be back, putting our foot in the water a little bit. Always remember when you watch your Hot Topics, the 28-minute mark. That is the 28-minute mark is golden on Hot Topics. Okay, it is the golden point where the fireworks. We got to have an alarm. We got to get us a sound effect. Because the 28-minute mark is where it starts popping. Now, don't, sometimes you come out swinging like Nate, but but for the most part, at the 28-minute mark, it starts getting really good. Really good. The flames start getting hotter and hotter and hotter as we go. Guys, again, it was good for us to be back with you guys. Unfortunately, some things have changed. A lot of things have not changed. Unfortunately, hopefully, by next show, we maybe would have heard from the governor. Maybe he can address the situation with this young lady, and maybe we can try to get some factual information. Last thing I wanted to talk about real quickly was the former presidents came out and said that they would take the vaccine. Keisha, you jumping on that? You jumping on that train with them?
No. No.
They said they would take it for the good of the country.
That's your business.
They got grown children. All of them got grown children.
For the good of them.
I'll watch.
I think they were saying once Biden get in.
Right.
I'm still gonna wait.
Yeah, I'm not. I actually had to just do a survey about that yesterday. I think. Yeah, I'm gonna wait on that. I'm gonna wait a little bit.
The Bible says that they that wait upon
shall renew their strength. Yeah.
They shall renew their strength. Oh, I ain't never even. I think I've only taken a flu shot once.
Never.
So ain't no way.
This was my first time taking the flu shot, and it's only because Dad convinced me, because of the baby.
I was gonna say, yeah, they tell you that when you have.
That's the only reason I got it.
That made me when I took it.
It was.
See, I don't know. She said, "I will when Fauci take." Everybody put their boy, Mr. Fauci is like it's like the end all be all for everybody. Pope Fauci, if Fauci died today, boy, the whole America would be stuck.
Ooh, they in trouble. Come on now.
Fauci is like the Pope of
right
of disease and viruses.
Right.
Yeah. Man.
Oh man.
Fauci is the Magic Johnson of COVID.
Scottie Pippen.
No, Magic got something none of y'all ain't got. That's why
Good
Magic
night,
did this
everyone.
song.
I'm gone.
He the
End the
Magic Johnson
broadcast.
COVID.
Click the button that says
We
end
go.
broadcast.
What?
We
Button
are
that
gone.
says end broadcast. Top right hand corner it says end broadcast.
Now y'all want to take y'all next week? Why y'all laughing?
See y'all next week.
Man, listen, I ain't gonna even give her a chance to give no final words.
But listen,
That was
now,
enough.
what you gotta see is at the 28 mark again, 29 mark.
Right,
It came back around.
right. It done came back around. It done came back around.
What?
Oh my God. It done came back around again. I tell y'all, at the 28, and it done came back around. Oh, oh boy. Well, next show we'll we'll talk more about that. We'll talk more about some things. We want to get all that out of our system. Preferably by then, reality would have set in that he lost, and we can actually start moving forward with a full transitional plan, so we can get this country back on track. And so, all right, guys, it's been good, real talking with you guys. We'll see you next time. And as the saying goes now, have a good night. Good night. We out of here, man. Peace.